Okay, this is part 2 in the Lio editor tutorials. We're going to be covering doors and switches on this part. So we're going to jump into doors, click the door tab, uh, physics tile X and Y. Now this is a little hard to get to understand, but once you get it straight in your head, you'll get it going pretty good. This is actually defining where to start deleting the red physics of the door. So what you have here is -1 and -1. -1 for X means that you're going to move left or back 1 on the X plane, and then -1 on Y means you're going to go down or -1 on the Y plane. So you're going to start right where it'd be is about right here in the actual graphic, and moving left 1 and down 1 would put you at the bottom left corner of the image, which is exactly where you want to be. For this part, because that'll give you a good starting point for deleting the physics. Now this is actually where it tells it to delete physics, the physics width and height that defines a area of which to delete the physics from. So you can see here it's too wide and too high, so it's a 2 by 2 area of physics for it to delete, so it's 4 altogether, and that will cover just that bottom portion right here. And whenever the switch opens the door, it'll tell it to delete the physics along that area. It'll be red physics or any physics that's within that defined area, which will allow the player to walk through or be blocked off whenever it comes back up. Your link ID for your primary door section, you actually don't want to use one. See right here we have the primary selected and it doesn't have a link ID. For any of your secondary and so on ones, you're going to want to link back to the primary door ID. This is because whenever you get to switches, instead of having to add lock A, B, C, D, and on through G to the switch to tell it to actually open that one, you can just add the primary one, and since all the others are linked back to it, then they'll go down and up whenever the primary one goes, since they're linked. So once again, just primary, not the not the primary, only the secondary ones, and secondary link back to the primary one. Your open odds, I'm assuming that this is like if it doesn't have a switch, if a door section doesn't have one, then it will open and close kind of at random, like the one in Twin Peaks, if you know what I'm talking about. The one in the over towards the right side of the map. It doesn't have a switch. It just opens and closes. It leads down to the mines. Possibly also, whenever you would do this, if you would to open the switch or hit the switch to open the door, it would actually have an odds of whether or not it would actually open or not. Your initial state, that is whether you want the door whenever the game starts to start out as open or closed. As you can see down here, 0 is closed and 1 is open. And since we want this door to begin as shut whenever the game starts, we want it set to 0. Inverse state, I don't actually know why anybody would want to use this, but hey, you never know. But the inverse state, it means that, it's reversed. If you were to hit open on the switch, then it would actually close the door, and if you were to close the door, it'd actually open. It'd just be backwards from the norm. And you got the sounds tab. This is kind of self-explanatory. I won't go over that too much, as all the different tabs have this sound tab. So we're going to jump on down to switches, which is right here, and this is the barracks lock switch, which goes along with the doors that I was just talking about. So, skipping the general tab, you hit switch, and I'll want to open up an ITM file. So we'll just open up the bug hunt one. Alright, switch delay. This is kind of like no tag backs in whenever you're playing tag with your friends. Once you open the door, or once you use the door, how long until it can be used again? Really, you shouldn't use a 0 for this, because that'll just enable them to open and shut the door very, very quickly, and it'll just create a mess. But for this particular map, we're actually going to set it to a 0, so they can just use it however often that they want. Use ammo ID. If you were to create like a door lock key or a pass, and you were to prize it to them, then they would have to require to use this type of ammo to open the door, and use ammo amount as how much of that particular ammo that it would cost to open that, and the auto close delay is how long after the door is open if it will automatically close or not. This one it's set to 0, so it'll never close until they actually shut it. But for capture the flag type zones, it's actually kind of a good idea to set this, and maybe 500 would be a good default for that. Use energy amount. Instead of using an ammo or a key pass, it would actually use your energy to open the door. Frequency. Now this is the actual frequency of who can use it. As you can see down here, as -1 is anybody. So that's the only negative number that you'll use. Positive numbers will be your vehicles, numbers, and IDs and all that. In this particular map, 1 is set to all Marines, and the aliens or the bugs are set to 5. So as you can see, only the Marines are going to be able to use and open this door switch. Override ammo, or ammo overrides logic. If they have a certain ammo, then that'll actually have to be required. It'll override the frequency and all that if they do have the ammo. And ammo overrides frequency. These are all through here is just different ways to override certain requirements to actually get the door open. Your logic string, this is if you only want certain classes or certain class types and so on to be able to use this. You can just hit the edit skill logic right here and that'll get that open. Now, if this is a turret or a door, in this case it's a door. If it was a turret, it would activate or shut off the turret. But since it's a door, you'll want to go up here, and once again, since we are linked back, we'll hop back over here. All these are linked back to the primary door, all A, B, C, D, E, all the way. The only one that you're going to have to add to the switch is this primary one right here. And so you just click add, and right there, and there you go. That's all you got to do. And it's added on. You won't, once again, you will not have to add all the rest. You just leave those right there, and you're good to go. That is one of your door locks. And that concludes this portion of the tutorial of the switches and doors.